So, what just happened there, man? I don't want to admit it, but I was mad. I've been grinding so hard, but shit like this just keeps happening. I'd get mashed on, reversal, thrown, sometimes all three at once. Sometimes I wake up when I got a goddamn DP. Jesus. But I got sick of it and decided to do something about it. This ain't a how-to guide or but hopefully it can help someone, somebody struggling with the same thing, trying to figure out how to stop just getting clipped and being able to feel like you don't lose the dumb shit. So yeah, without further ado, let's fucking go. Alright, bit about me first. I'm an 09er, started with Street Fighter 4. I think the year is self-evident. I think this makes me an FGC boomer. And you know what? I think the fact that I can't block any tap dust kinda proves that point.
So anyway, started in 09. Somebody just bubbled it through to the college break room. And we had our own little group going, and one of the guys, he was just so good.
Ridiculously good at Halo. Grind out raids on WoW. Whatever multiplayer game that we picked, eat our asses. But then he brought in Street Fighter 4 for the first time, and I knew, what? We're all beginners here. I know he's never touched it. This is an even playground, baby. I'm gonna get him this time. I didn't get him. But that set off a series of events that got me to Good Street Casino, moved over to Trocadero, Gamer Base, joined the Street Fighter 4 Winner Stays On, moved on to Marvel 3, moved on to Exit. Here we are at Strive. So I was pretty full on from about 2011 till about 2015, 2016. And then at that point, real life took over. Fighting games took a bit of a back seat. And I kept dabbling, but there was nothing that really hooked me and brought me back in, till Strive. And the game is the game, it's come a long way. The initial version had its problems, but I think I saw something in it. And more than anything, right, I saw something in the scene. These guys were so cool, was so chill. Where we go and hang and play games, amazing. Meltdown London, Caledonia Road, go check it out. Still get new people even after 3 years, and it's a very welcoming environment, and enough to even get me out of retirement and start traveling internationally again. So yeah, it's fucking awesome. Have monthlies every month. Well, it's in the name, innit? Yeah, come down if you can, if you're in the area, if you're nearby. Fuck it, if you're abroad and you want to come say hi, come through. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh shit, I was talking about me and my journey with defense. Cool. So yeah, I think I wanted to, I've got a really analytical brain. I try and systemize things. I think my job, it's not technical, but it's a lot of organization, and thinking things through and planning. So I just approached it like I would any other project at work, and so I kind of broke it down, and this is kind of what I was looking to do. So like I would at work, I'd start with making sure that I really understand the concept, and then ask as many questions as possible to help me figure out a way forward. So in this case, it really comes down to going back to basics with what good defense really looks like and how that compares to what I'm doing at the moment. And then asking questions like, well, why am I getting hit? What can I do about it? But not just in theory, how do I actually start applying it in matches and practice? And then from that point on, I think this is probably the most important for any long-term success, is that how do you measure that you're actually getting better at it? And how do you hold yourself accountable so that you know that you're going to stick with it and actually get better over a long time?
I started off grinding hard, trying to brute force my way into improvement, just thinking if I play enough games, if my mix is better, if my combos are better, if my spacing's a little bit better, I'm going to get there. But I just kept running into the same issues, which is that I kept getting hit on my wake up, you know, clipped in neutral, interrupted during my offense with like mash normals or reversals or whatever. And it didn't occur to me until much later that all of those things were related to just having bad defense. And not just defense, but like how all of those things were very different in terms of anticipation, in terms of patience, in terms of it just comes down to like understanding that defense doesn't just boil down to holding down back to block an attack. Like, it's not that simple. It's about, you know, understanding how to avoid danger at any point in a match. So like, shit, there's a definition right here. I'm gonna post it up. I don't even know what side it's on, but whatever, I'm gonna post it up here. I'm not gonna read this shit, but it all just comes down to the fact that like it's not just about holding back to block, right? I already said that. It's about using your knowledge of the game to avoid situations before they even come up, using backdashes, using DPs, using reads, reversals, whatever, and just being slippery and hard to pin down, and just never taking damage unless you absolutely fucking have to. And yeah, you know, I posted it, I've talked it through in rough terms. If you care all that much, you can pause it, read it all back. But yeah, I think the main takeaway for this, for me, is the fact that like, you got to think 2-3 steps ahead. You can't just be thinking what's happening in the moment. I mean, look at modern fighting games, man. Everything's a casino, 50-50. You can't like react and deal with that shit. So you have to anticipate the situations that lead up to it and make those decisions before you have to take that mix, before you have to take that unfavorable situation. Once I thought of it that way, it gave me like a significant mindset shift. And I started looking at all these games very differently. You know, I could finally see that like, what was the difference between me and other top players? What made them so fucking gassed? Like, why is Goichi held up at the fucking pinnacle? And with that lens, watching matches now, it's crazy. Like, so little is happening. It doesn't have to come down to like that fucking Leffen and Goichi DBFC match where he's like blocking everything Leffen's throwing at him. It comes out in like more subtle ways, like, you know, Takedo and Punk in 2017 Evo Street Fighter, like Jetstream and Sechi just recently at fucking VSF 2023 last year. My guy, he was playing Chaos, a character with notoriously bad defense, against Zato, who at the time had fantastic offense, and he just held all those blocks without even using FD, without any mechanics, just raw dogging like that defense. And that's wild. That's fucking wild. And I tried to incorporate that, but it didn't really matter how much I was trying. Like, it just felt like I wasn't getting anywhere, you know. And it just had me asking myself, like, what have these guys got that I don't? What is it that I'm missing? What is it that I need to figure out? And it's rough because, like, once you get into a game thinking, right, I'm gonna think about my defense, and you just get too stuck into like looking what's on the screen, holding down back. I'm in my 30s, man. I can't react to shit, so I'm just freezing up all the time and getting thrown. Like, all right, maybe I'm not taking left, right, high lows as much as I used to. I'm still losing, you know. And I thought, fuck it, like, let's take out the crutches. I'd freeze, I'd get thrown, I'd lose matches, I'd get frustrated, and I'd just go back to my old ways, mashing DPs and like just praying and hoping that I could out offense them before the question of defense ever came up. And that's a valid way to play the game. That's a valid way to play the game. But I was trying to become more of an all-rounded player, you know. And this is a weakness that I really wanted to address. So I thought, fuck it. Let's take off the crutches. I'm going to swap to somebody who I've always wanted to play, and I avoided playing because of their poor defense. So I switched over to Chaos. I decided to remove my crutches. I switched from Sin to Happy Chaos. And it was a big change, since Chaos is like a really technical character. I've always wanted to play him. I thought he was really cool. But like, boy, was it difficult. Like, first of all, it took me ages just to wrap my head around how Gunshot even fucking worked, right? And once I actually felt like I could pilot the character to a semi-capable level, I got put into a whole new world of suffering. A whole new world of suffering, man. Like, Jesus. I don't want to admit this publicly, but I dropped all the way to like floor 6, floor 7. It was peak. It hurt. My ego couldn't handle it, bro. It just felt like everything that could go wrong went wrong. Like, it's fucked. And it made me feel like I wasted 3 years of playing Stripe, and I didn't know shit. I didn't know shit. But I stuck with it. I made sure that, like, I kept the mindset of defense first while I'm trying to just figure out how to pilot this character. And slowly but surely, the improvements came. I think it really helped, like, starting with the new character, having a clean slate, and also introducing a few things that, like, I wasn't really doing before. I was mostly playing off vibes, you know? I've been playing for a while. I know how to do a DP. I know how to do a super. Like, I know what my combos are. Give me 10 minutes in training mode, I'm gonna hit that shit. But, like, now I'm reviewing VODs. Now I'm, like, losing matches, getting frustrated, and instead of just hitting that rematch, I'm going back. I'm going back to that match that pissed me the fuck off. I'm gonna see why I got pissed off. What was it that was frustrating me? And then going into training mode and actually trying to understand what I can do about it, you know? And it might not even be anything that I could so quote unquote do about it, but just understanding what my options are in the moment, and not having to freeze and expend additional brain power trying to process what's happening and trying to make a decision in the moment. Just knowing what my options are and just being able to go with the right decision. I could still play off vibes, but now I'm making educated guesses rather than just rolling the dice, you know? I'm running regular drills. Well, I was. And just not just practicing my combos, but like visually and like block stun wise, getting used to typical offense sequences and mixes, and just understanding like how I can block this, what my options are after I've blocked this, rather than just firming it and just pressing a button and hoping for the best, you know? I've veered away from just grinding ranked or tower by itself, and just running sets with people, asking them what I can do better, asking them what could be done differently to help me improve, and just having that overall defense focused mindset, not just like trying to crank up my stats on the offense and just winning games off rip like that, because it's a back and forth, especially at the higher level that you go. People know what to do against your shit, so you're gonna need to know what to do when they know what to do against your shit, you know? And also just like giving myself the option of like getting comfortable with my character, getting comfortable blocking these things in long sets, and just really drilling in that muscle memory. Because I think ultimately what it comes down to is like trying to apply my analytical mindset in a less stressful environment, and for the environment to be less stressful, I need to be more comfortable with the situation on defense. I need to not panic, I need to not mash, and if I just throw myself through these situations over and over again, I'll have a calmer mindset, I'll know what to do in the situation. And yeah, and then finally, of course, like watching good players with the character, seeing what they're doing, taking notes, taking my notes into training mode, and seeing how I can apply all of that. And, you know, outcome wise, you know, outcome wise, I didn't really do any of these things as much as I promised myself that I would. But I did remember from time to time. And like, even with 5% of the effort that I maybe could have put in, my guy, I saw clear and immediate improvements. Like, I didn't get any cleaner mechanically. And like, you know, I was able to block correctly more often. But I think it was really just my decision making after those situations, and feeling less like I just got clipped for no reason, and just getting frustrated less often. And, you know, as a side effect, just having a lot more fun, because I feel like I'm playing the game. I'm not just playing against myself. My backdashes and jumps got me out of a lot more trouble, especially now that I started fuzzying. Like, I'm able to react to more obvious mix. Like, I'm finally grabbing Leo's run through with consistency, and just, you know, in general, like, just being more intentional just gave me a more focused mindset, and I'm able to just navigate the screen a lot better by focusing more on avoiding my opponent and forcing them to like overextend, make mistakes, and exploiting those mistakes, right? And even though I moved to a new character, I'm nowhere near close to mastering. I mean, it's Happy Chaos. It's got a really high skill ceiling, but I was still able to hit top 8 at my local, with a lot of the top players away, mind you. And like, fuck, I even made like top 49, almost made it out of pools using a hitbox. Like, I'm learning a new character, I'm doing all sorts of things, I'm learning a new input control, but yet somehow I still feel better as a player than I was before. Shit, like, I just want to emphasize, my guy, I almost made it out of pools at a major without being able to DP. Like, DPing is my thing. I will do it at any possible opportunity, and I couldn't do it, and I still survived. That's crazy. And like, slowly but surely, like, all these lessons are finally starting to come through, and it's something that I want to take forward. So like, the question is like, right, like, why am I doing this to begin with? Could have picked any game. I picked Strive, which is a notoriously bullshit game, right? But for me, like, I've always felt like whatever game I'm playing competitively, I was never really scrub proof. And that's just something that I wanted to address. I wanted to feel like I can go somewhere, and wherever I enter, whatever tournament I do, whoever I'm playing, I can understand why I lost, and not just get frustrated over losing to just some bullshit, you know, to go away with like clear, actionable insights on how I can move forward, you know? And shit, like, that's me saying it as a 30+ person. Like, I'm never beating the tap dust allegations. I'm getting hit by all of those motherfuckers. But I want to give GGs to top players, and I want to be seen as a contender as well. And ultimately, like, I think my goal is to try and make it to top 8 at a major. It might not be this game, it might be the next game, it might be the game after that, but I feel like that's something that's possible to do if you approach it intelligently. You check your ego at the door, and you work hard, you put the time in, because yeah, it's, that stage is achievable. I think that's one of the beautiful things about fighting games. Like, seeing one of the guys at our locals up on stage at CEO, shout outs to Jojo, like, it just made me feel like, why shouldn't I be able to do that? And it's always something that I'm dreamed of. God knows how many fantasies I've had, like holding up a trophy or holding up a medal up on a stage somewhere, and I really want to make that happen. So yeah, I really appreciate you listening and watching so far through. I hope this sort of inspires you to try and tackle and figure out your own, struggles and issues. But it's not really just about winning. Like, it's cheesy as fuck to say, but like, it's about having fun, and it's about growing, not just as a competitor, but as a person. There's a reason, like, I kept gushing about the scene so much. I feel like fighting games helped shape a lot of who I am as a person, and I'll be forever grateful for that. And this is kind of my way of trying to give back. I got a little emotional there, didn't it? I got a little emotional there. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully it won't take as long for me to upload a follow-up. I'm working on another script as well, and another one after that. But yeah, peace.
I'm telling you right now, if you do not play fighting games, you are moist. Straight up moist.